A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel this particular Monday. My name is Gerald Cabrera. So glad that you've joined us today for our political conversation. A conversation that I hope will help our political leaders in making better policy decisions and informed political moves. I'm here with the hard hitter, Prof. Herman Manyora. Great to see you today. How are you doing?
Good.
Uligusa Murima.
I
saw your photos on Twitter.
I got there almost touching, then people told don't touch. I was right there. I could have touched. I was told don't touch.
But I think
but they also showed me huge tracts of land, complete with electric fence, belonging to somebody, touted as one of the most possible successors to Rigathi if he's removed. I said, what country are we talking about? What country are we that?
Around Mount Kenya there?
Yeah, Mount Kenya, about the Lusoi area. Anajijua. But now, some former cabinet minister texted me. Told Manyora, it's not me. My land doesn't even have an electric fence. It was destroyed by elephants 10 years ago. Mwizi mwenye anajileta kwa police station.
Anajishuku before you touch.
Anajishuku. It wasn't him I was talking about. I was talking about somebody else who is one of the most likely successor if Rigathi goes. Ako na shamba hapo. Kubwa, tena ingine. Tracts of land.
What country we live in?
Zimefenziwa tu, hakuna kitu zinafanya. That reminds me the same person. Ako na ingine huko Lukenya, near Moa Hills. And they have property all over.
What is the mood?
So to try and impeach Gachagua over property, acquisition of property, whichever way it is acquired, none of these people can pass the test. Then why can't I be the one to become the deputy? Because I've not stolen anything.
Because you don't have property, it seems.
I don't have property. I've not stolen anything. Yeah. If that's what they want, then they should make me the deputy.
Tell me, what is the mood around Mount Kenya with regards to Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment?
I'm telling you from the ground is hostile. I don't know what Ruto will do. The ground is hostile. I'm telling you. Yeah.
There are some people who believe that Ruto will not appoint a deputy president. This is something I'm getting from the feedback. Do you think it will get to that place where it will be difficult for Ruto to choose Rigathi's successor?
It's very difficult. That's where ngoma itaanza hapo. When it gets to deputy president, I've told you, hapo ndio ngoma itaanza. Outside legal and constitutional challenges, even just who it is will be a very difficult problem. And that's why I've told you, any of these names being, these front runner names, Kindiki, Anne Waiguru, Sijui Ndini, they can't. They will never even go home. It has to be somebody like given you Moses Kuria Kiunjuri from Mount Kenya. Or you step outside UDA and Kenya Kwanza, you go into Jubilee and get Mutahi Kagwe.
Oh.
Which is also not a bad thing. Why? It's a restart. You want to convince the country, and particularly Mount Kenya, we can start afresh. And we are the same people. We are together. If you got somebody like Mutahi Kagwe, Peter Kenneth, that's the message you'll be saying. It's a restart. You're also getting somebody people can believe. You see, the problem Ruto has is that he must maintain Mount Kenya. But the names being mentioned, Ndini Nyoro, Kindiki, who is the other one is who? Anne Waiguru. They are not community names. Community cannot have them. They have disowned them. They cannot.
But should
even Kindiki in a very limited sense because of Mount Kenya. But even in East, even that East, it is in a limited sense. Anne Waiguru in a very, extremely limited. There's no sense in which the Mount Kenya people can feel they are represented by Anne Waiguru or Ndindi Nyoro or
there's this conversation that he should just forget Mount Kenya. It's gone. It cannot get back to where it was before. Get Mudavadi to be your deputy. Do you think this could be the best bet? Say, if you appoint a Mount Kenya person, they will still not vote for me at the end of it all.
That makes a little sense, but there's yet another problem. Have you heard of an old man, late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga?
Yeah.
Have you heard he was asked to form government and he refused?
Yes.
He said Kenyatta must leave jail to come and lead the people. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Have you heard people say he was stupid?
Yeah.
You have heard that, eh? That Jaramogi was stupid.
Yes.
He should have taken. 60 years later, it is those who think so who are stupid. Yes. And those who didn't understand Jaramogi like Kenyatta are the ones who are stupid. He understood the game better than them. And that's why 60 years later, we are still dancing in the same place, mainly going backwards. He knew what I want to say, why he cannot ignore Mount Kenya. He knew, if you look at our history then, the struggle for independence, it will be some sort of contempt to the struggle, not to recognize the role played by the Gema community and by Jomo Kenyatta. And therefore, the idea of another person other than a person of Mount Kenya being our first leader wasn't quite a viable option. And that's why Jaramogi was smarter than all these other people, including Kenyatta. He was much smarter than them, and he was seeing far. And it explains why we have been unable to play our politics right. Why 60 years later we are still a tribally divided nation, unable to move because we are so fragmented along ethnic lines. What Jaramogi saw, all these people up to now did not see. And to answer your question, therefore, to imagine you can run this country with the exclusion of the Mount Kenya community is to delude yourself. You cannot do it.
Would it be to the...
And Moi knew it.
Yes.
People say Moi was against Kikuyus. Never. Some of those things are still bedeviling this country. The things people are saying Moi did to the Kikuyus, like kill the coffee sector, kill the tea sector, kill the milk sector to manage the Kikuyus. How many Kikuyu presidents have we had since Moi left? 2. 20 years they could not manage to correct it if it was easy. If you think it's Moi who killed the coffee sector, the tea sector, in order to deal with the Kikuyus, how come Kibaki didn't do it? How come Uhuru didn't do it? Full 2 terms. 2 terms Kibaki, 2 terms. So, if you are using that as a measure to say that Moi didn't like the Kikuyus, you are wrong. I know, I witnessed, Moi would be in Kisumu insulting Luos or Luyas, and then he gives them 5 million shillings. He will board a helicopter and land in the Kikuyu land, Tumutumu. Deliver a bus to the school, give them 15 million. Go to another school around there, give them 20 million. After insulting Luos and Luyas.
So
what I'm trying to say
when it comes to Ruto,
what I'm trying to say, let Ruto try to think he can ignore Mount Kenya. Let him try. In that sense in which you are saying, after all, I have lost their votes. Watch our Kai. We are with Raila, with Mudavadi. Let them try. Let's see how far they go.
is it politically or is it for the betterment of the country? Because when you talk about the context of Jaramogi, it's about the betterment of the country.
Yes.
But when you come to the context of Ruto,
It is a stability.
Also,
Without which you can't go far. It's the same thing.
So where do we
Jaramogi was a much more philosophical understanding of the situation. A high-level thinking. And the thugs around him were petty and looking at their stomach and tribe and land. Jaramogi was up there in the skies. Even Raila is nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. Jaramogi was compact. He understood the country well. He understood the people. He knew the aspiration of the Kenyan people. And he knew he could easily become prime minister. And Kenyatta would still be in jail, but it will be short-lived.
So with that, you also say you cannot govern without the Luo nation. Is this also the case?
Yes, the same.
So 2 communities,
if you look at our history,
truth.
It is the Luo and the Kikuyu who are the most politically active. It happens everywhere in the world. There are certain segments of society. Even now Americans are having an election. There are certain demographics you forget. If you don't deal with them, you have problems. There are certain lobby groups in America. You must find peace with them after you become president. Otherwise, they'll give you hell. They'll give you trouble. So I'm saying stability of this country. And that's what the BBI was about. I'm among the few people, I think, who understood Uhuru and Raila. And they mentioned it, the sins of our fathers. Unless you corrected that thing, it's a simple equation. get the Kenyan people to work together as one. But you must begin with two communities. One with a sense of entitlement. The Kikuyu have a sense of entitlement. They think this is their country. It is true they fought for independence more than most of us. But that doesn't give them entitlement. If you look at our history, it is that sense of entitlement that is responsible for many of the problems we have had. Even when you have a gentleman like Kibaki, wanting to do things right, people descend on him. The Kiambu Mafia, for example, on Kenyatta. The Kikuyu Mafia on Kibaki. To change an otherwise good man who means good for the country, to begin operating as a Kikuyu. So it's a sense of entitlement. Then there is the Luo who feel betrayed. That sense of betrayal and the persecution, unless you address these two, that explains why you find the Kalenjin who are easily able to sneak in through Daniel Armoy. And even now, William Ruto. It explains why you find because these two communities keep fighting, they head the two factions. It is Raila or Jaramogi and Kenyatta and Moi, the one group on one side like that, and with the undercurrents, who is in charge. And then you find, I don't want to mention communities in this country, who are the biggest beneficiaries today in state appointments to an alarming level. Because the Luo and the Kikuyu cannot trust each other. So kamuntu kanapitia katikati. Look at head of this institute to an alarming level. It explains that thing. So what I'm trying to say is that it is good to face your demons as a country. Face your demons. Face your challenges head on. And bite the bullet. Say, okay, if Kibaki had not messed the MOU, for example, and worked with Raila, would Kenya be where it is today? These stupid things you are seeing, impeachment of Gachagua, people just be laughing at you. Kenya will be so far. That one mistake from Kibaki. We squandered an opportunity.
So now, if you look at William Ruto,
he can't ignore Mount Kenya. Let him try.
Case,
yes. That's why this impeachment was a wrong move. Whatever the reason, we don't know the reasons. There must be reasons, because you can't impeach a person with at a great risk, with such a frivolous charges. There must be something. There must be something we don't know. But whatever it is, that's a gamble. It's a big risk.
How would you describe Ruto's handling of this situation? Because he was in church yesterday, did not even talk about the impeachment. But of course, we see the actions through the National Assembly, Senate. How would you describe how he's handling it? Silence from his side?
Silence, okay. What would he say? Silence means he's supporting it. You cannot take an impeachment, and everybody has said it, including Gachagua himself. How can you even just leave alone filing an impeachment? How can you even just imagine, even to think about it, that you can impeach a deputy president? How could you impeach Gachagua without Ruto even? How would you even start? Yeah. Where would you start?
I'm asking about the strategy of him not talking about it. Do you think
he thinks that convinces people that he's not part of it? But even a kid is not convinced. Okay. So it's not serving any purpose. But neither would speaking. What would he say? Because people know it is him. So whether he speaks or not, it doesn't make a difference.
Don't you think there are Kenyans in Mount Kenya who are thinking maybe the president should tell us what our son has done? Don't you think?
Yeah, of course. That's what I was there. That's what people are saying. They don't see any reason why.
Don't you think the president should talk about it?
Many of the people don't even like Gachagua. Let me be very honest with you. And they're not hiding it. They don't like him. There are people who don't like him in Mount Kenya. At all. And they're very clear about it. But neither do they support the idea of lynching him. Because this is lynching. And they don't agree with him, with Ruto for lynching their son. Even small children. Yeah. There are lyrics there on the mountain about Gachagua. Na Morima. Uziguse Morima. Na tunacheza tutoto tunacheza.
Talk to me. You've given us a good context about stability and what Jaramogi Oginga did. Yes. What should Ruto do now that, Gachagua's impeachment is almost going through?
If he asked me today, there is time between now and Thursday, just get rid of this impeachment and let's start afresh. Just ask Gachagua, you have seen, we have the power kunyorosha wewe. Sit down. Will you toe the line? Ama tuendelee. Gachagua say, I'll toe. obvious, everybody would, even me. Okay, I will talk. But Manyora is a stupid man. I may tell him off. You know me, eh? I will tell him off. But the average person, and I'm not an average person, will olive sasa mzee nimesikia. Ambia umesikia, umeona, umepona, umeona, umelala. Have you ever slept for the last 2 weeks? Sema ukweli hujalala. From now onwards, mambo ya Morima utawachana naye. That is possible. It can't serve well. But again, just in the same light, should he think the gear they call reverse is not in the vehicle? The vehicle doesn't have the reverse gear. Therefore, Gachagua must go. He has to think carefully about the replacement. Carefully about the replacement. Carefully. These names I'm hearing. I don't want the president to go through a very embarrassing situation, because indeed he'll go through a very embarrassing situation. He should go back and see what Moi went through. There are places Moi couldn't just go. Even in those days when the police were everything and the special branch everything, Moi would have a big problem assessing some parts of this country.
Some believe that's why he didn't go to
even school children will tell him off.
To Embu Church on Sunday.
Yeah. I want my president to be free to move across. I know you can have bravado, I'm head of state, but the truth is, wakati wa Gen Z, si walishindwa kutembea?
Yeah.
Si walijificha?
Yeah.
Si waling'oa bendera?
Yeah.
Ama hawakung'oa?
Waling'oa.
Si waheshimiwa walianza kulala Nairobi waendi nyumbani?
Yeah.
So why get to that situation? It's an ugly situation. We want our leaders to walk freely. I want the president to rethink this thing of impeaching Gachagua. There's time between now and Thursday. I really would ask those who hear and listen to me and know the president to tell him it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right.
It's a gamble that is not worth it. But in the event the differences are so great that they can't reconcile, which we don't know ourselves, and the Gachagua must go, my advice to the president, be very careful as you navigate around who replaces Gachagua. Very careful.
Thanks for tuning in to that conversation. Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.